Hello there. What I got on the bench here, this is the camera that I took down that was dead. Okay, I ran some current checks last night. Okay, this is the one I took down. This one, I got it at a yard sale, and I don't know when I got it, but it is heavy. It's got to weigh at least 4 pounds. It's a monster. It'll never fit up on the wall with a bracket that I have up there. But it's got a lot more than 48 LEDs in there. I have not measured the current draw of this. Like I say, I got this at a yard sale. The LEDs do work because I plugged in the 12 volts into it. It's typical of these type cameras. It's got the 12 volt input and the BNC output for composite video. But it is a monster. It looks like a bomb, doesn't it? I had to have picked it up at a yard sale. It must have been a few years ago. I was looking around for my old dome camera that I had on my front porch. And I can't find that, but that one there seemed to have crapped out anyways. And anyways, the LEDs all work in here because I took it and plugged it in. And then I put it down under my bench and you can see the glow of the LEDs. I'm going to put my hand over it. And then you can plainly see it. And then when the light hits it, it goes out, you know. So we know the LEDs are working. The LEDs are working on this too. This is the one that got knocked out, as I told you before, the Dawson. And goes this way. It is drawing 80 some mils with the 80 to 100, I think, milliamps, but only the LEDs work. When you're in the lighted room here, there's no current draw at all on this. Okay, no current draw at all. The camera that is causing interference on only one camera, as I mentioned before, it is drawing 80 mils in the daytime. So in other words, the camera itself is drawing 80 mils. When the LEDs are on, it is drawing 250 mils. Of course, that's at night. It's drawing 250 mils. I put the battery on it. It's clean. No hum bars, of course, because of the battery, DC. However, still getting a co-channel interference. So it's got to be something in the DVR. This is way too big to put up there, but I could use it in some other place. But certainly not up on that corner because it's only aluminum up there, and that's a heavy camera. So it's drawing 250 mils. I only measured the current on the camera that's giving me all the trouble and causing the interference in the other one. I don't have a ferrite bead to try out. One of the suggestions of putting a ferrite bead on either on the camera that's causing the interference or the camera that is receiving the interference. However, the only place I could put them on is on the back of the DVR. The plugs, as you've seen in those photographs, are way too close together for me to put a ferrite bead on it. I'm pretty sure I will not be able to get it in there. So, anyways, I have never tried this camera out, okay? All I did is stuck it on my tripod, which I normally use at my workbench. and that's all. I just stuck it up on this tripod here. The only tag is right here in the bottom. So I may try this out when I get time. The weather is miserable. This is Saturday. It's a miserable hot weekend. Last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, was gorgeous. It was in the upper 60s. It was very breezy, but nonetheless excellent. Sunny, below normal. Now we got crappy heat and humidity back again. So I'm not doing anything. I'm hibernating. When it gets over 80 degrees, I stay in the house. I went out this morning, and it's hot. So I'm short-fused when it's hot. I always was, even when I was young. I'm very short-fused when I'm hot and aggravated with the heat and humidity. I've always been that way, even when I was younger. So anyways, it's comfortable in the shop right now. I haven't had to use the AC. The AC's on in the house. We're damn lucky we got that good a line voltage. So however, I might take that great big monster of a camera. I have one on the shed now. And run a line over to it in good weather. And try to run that up in the house, but I'm not sure yet. What I might even do is just use that one as a monitor and have some way of monitoring that in the house. I just don't have any room. But anyways, I don't even know if it works. I've got my TV monitor. That's the only thing I can use now, but it's very, very difficult for me to get all this stuff on the bench to use it. So I have not checked the video output on this, but I'm 100% sure that there is no video output on this, and the only current this thing is drawing is when these LEDs come on. Then it's drawing about 80 mils, about the same current that the defective camera is drawing. No, actually it's drawing about 200 mils, I'm sorry. About 200 mils, the LED, and no current when the light is hitting it. In other words, the LEDs are off. The camera itself should be drawing some current, and I use the amp meter function. Oh, I better get this plug out of here, or I'll be using it on voltage. I was measuring current with this. It works very well, but I got to get that plug out of there before I forget and use it on voltage. That's the amp jack. Let me get that plug out of there now. Okay, that way I'll remember. When I'm measuring current on this, there is no current until you put this in darkness, then these lights come on, and then you're getting the current for that. So the camera is not drawing any current because the camera's no good. Whether it's a broken wire, and I don't think so. I think it got hit somehow. Anyways, the defective camera that's causing me the interference on the corner of the house is drawing 82 mils, between 80 and 82 mils in daytime, and drawing 250 mils at night when the LEDs are on. So that great big monster camera that I showed you, which I already put away, that'll probably draw a half an amp or so, I'm guessing. That's a lot of current to be drawn through that thin wire that's going up to 100 feet of that. Super thin wire. I don't even think it's 26 gauge. So, but that's what they use on these things. So, I don't have any wire coaxial that I can use for that monstrous camera. But what I got to try to do is to hook that thing up on the bench here, and I'm not doing it today, and get it hooked up to this and see if I'm getting video output on that great big monster of a camera. And I know I'm not getting any out of here. But with the hot weather now, I'm not going to be dealing with any cameras or climbing ladders and working outside. So I figured I'd just throw this video out to you rather than keep typing, as I said. Just want to let you know that the camera that's causing the interference in summing this up, 80 mils in the daytime, because the camera itself, 250 mils at night when the LEDs are on. Still getting, on battery, the co-channel interference. So I think it's in the DVR. I'm still having zero luck trying to find anything on, somebody said it was a multiplexer. I'm not having any luck finding anything, but it's probably going to be more than what I can afford anyway, so we probably will just have to just worry. It works fine in the daytime. We'll probably leave it that way, and when we get some nice weather and I get some ambition, because this hot weather just saps me out. You know, I don't feel like doing nothing at all but just staying in the house. When I get some ambition, which I'll get when the weather gets nice and cool again like it was last weekend, I will experiment with these things a little more. But I may leave that defective camera up there rather than just throw money away on another eBay special. If that big monster camera works, I'll mount that outside the shed. It's got a lot of LEDs. I'll bet you it has 100 LEDs in that. It has twice as many LEDs as this one. So I'm going to say that guy's going to draw at least half an ampere. So I can power that from the shed here. That's not a problem. I just got to run the coax off, but I don't have the coax. I'm not going to go out and buy coax at today's prices. However, if I ever get back up to Jewett City again and I see any and the price is right, I may get it. It's been a few years ago, I could have got a whole roll of it. RG 59, I think. It's been a while. 75 ohm coax is what you want to use on these. The same stuff they use for television. And run it to the house, but it would have to be overhead probably, which would still involve me to crawl under the house to get it over to where I want it to go. But there's got to be experimentation with that first. I have to make sure it's going to work. What I would do is to put it on the bench here. Like I say, use the TV monitor, bring that down here, have that big monster camera hooked up on a piece of coax, and stick it out the door and come out here at night and see how it looks, because I want to make sure it's going to work. And it's going to be good at night and be good at detail. That, to me, looks like a commercial camera. These are eBay specials, a Chinese one. I couldn't read where that camera was made. I gave you a close-up of the ticket on the back there, the little tag. But there's not much information on it. You know, I pick these things up at yard sales and I put them away, and I forget about them. So it was buried up here in the back way up here in the corner. So I shoved it back up there again. All right, folks. Just want to give you an update. I know it's not an exciting video, but I am not a very exciting guy. Take care, everybody. Keep cool. That's all we can do.